So, Kate, we're back with another chat about accessories. We did summers, and now we're on to doing the autumns. And
We are, and I'm really excited about all the images we picked too.
I am too. And the way it works is that you've picked an image for each of the seasons, you've picked an image, and I've picked an image, and then we just sort of chat about why we chose them and what's what we think is important about those details.
Mm-hmm.
We see, hang on, and I will bring up the slideshow. So, are you ready to talk about our images, Kate?
I'm ready.
I am ready too. So this is about the 3 autumn seasons. And the first image is something you picked, Kate. It's from For the Soft Autumn, and I think it's absolutely adorable. Tell me why you chose this.
I just thought, well, one, it was just really beautiful, but I always associate bees with soft autumn, maybe just because I think of honey a lot when I think of soft autumn. It's such a to me, quintessential soft autumn color. And I really liked that this image, it has a lot of that autumn texture to it, with the wings, and then I felt like it was kind of almost a nod to, the summer seasons as well. I thought it was a good example of soft autumn's, slightly cooler side, where it starts moving toward that celadon green that you see in soft summer. I thought that the gold was a really beautiful example of a soft autumn gold, where it's, warm, but it's still not overly dark and spicy. I just thought it was a really beautiful image overall, and I really liked, this little grid of swatches that you kind of picked to coordinate with it. I felt like it was just a really good example of, kind of how soft autumn isn't all, terracotta rose or, those really warm, kind of more spicy colors that we think of. Like there are still those kind of cooler greens going on in the season.
Mm, I like it. It kind of reminds me of the image that I picked for Soft Summer in the last chat that we
Mm-hmm.
had, that where summer was pushing towards autumn, and this is the soft autumn that pushes towards summer. And when I saw it, it's just delightful. And when you say that about the bees, that is so cute because the honey kind of permeates the whole soft autumn, doesn't it? So
It
nice.
does. Yeah, I don't know why I always think of, bees and honey with soft autumn, but I really do for whatever reason.
Well, now I am going to do it too forever. I blame you. But I also think the ornate details in this is also something that autumns do really well. A lot of those,
Mhm.
there's something about the texture, like you said, and the ornateness, which is a nod towards the autumn. It's really nice.
Mhm.
I love this. Okay, you want to see what I picked?
I definitely do.
There's soft autumn that leans more into the autumn side of soft autumn.
Mhm.
And I picked this because it has all these natural elements. And I think natural elements and more kind of rustic, ethnic things and textures really it suits the autumn really well. All 3 autumns.
Yeah, I love this. I love, just the different shapes and sizes of the beads. I love that you have these tiny beads, strung along, the cord or the wire, and then you have the chunky beads, and then these carved beads are really beautiful. It's so ornate, but so earthy at the same time. I like all the different colors. I think you're right. It's like when you look at the ring, it's more on that summer side of soft autumn, and then here it's like if you want to go more toward that autumn. And I think that all the neutral seasons, really benefit from utilizing both their warmer and cooler sides at different times. And I think that's part of how you end up with a wardrobe that's really dynamic, is by not, if you're soft autumn, just buying kind of those really warm, kind of stereotypical soft autumn colors. And then I think combining the warm and cool sides, in clothing and the accessories, sometimes having them be a little different, is really interesting too. So I really liked this image a lot.
Is to use the whole range of whatever. If that range is narrow, you still need to use the whole range. And we often think about the soft autumn and the soft summer as having a very narrow range, but they do have a range, and it's very
Mhm.
important to use them. And is it jade? This the green, this the bottom
I
one of
think
the
some of
bottom
them
bead.
are,
They
yeah.
Yes, they look so much like the bee ring that we had in the other image. So
Yes,
it's
I
really
do.
it's nice. And even I know it's about accessories, but isn't that linen just gorgeous for an autumn? So that
It
coarse.
is, and I like it with the necklace too. I think all the textures like play off of one another because I think all the images we picked them because they're beautiful, and they're kind of just amazing to see. And I think with accessories, like you have to remember that you are wearing them, with your regular clothes too. They don't exist by themselves. And I think the linen is a great backdrop for this necklace.
So, Kate, what bottom would you have picked to make this? I know this is just a very detail of the neckline and the neck and the necklace. How would you make a complete, like smashing complete outfit out of this? What?
Depending what the shirt is shaped like, I would guess that it's not, you know, extremely close fitting. I would guess it's like a little bit looser. I would actually love to see either like warm denim or maybe even like a some type of like colored pant. I'm not sure exactly what type of color. I could almost see even like a soft autumn burgundy potentially, like something that just
Mm,
is kind of interesting. But I could also just see like a warmer, like blue kind of denim with this, as long as it was
mm,
more on that like autumn teal type of side.
mm. Yes, or picking one of the darker browns in the shades here, and
Hmm.
like a short skirt in a dark brown would kind of balance it. Mm.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's move on. This one I picked for True Autumn, and it's uh, mostly because I really like wood accessories made out of wood for autumns, and I love the richness of these pearls. Not pearls, the beads, wood bead, wood. What do you call those? Beads, wood beads.
I guess just beads, but I like that you called them pearls because I think it's kind of like, I think for autumns, like wooden beads are kind of like their pearls. Autumns can wear pearls as long as they're the right color, of course. But like I think that the wooden beads are just so perfectly autumn to me.
I know, and the size difference that there are tiny ones and there are medium ones and larger ones. The difference in the size makes it perfect. And what I really like about this is that the necklace is almost a continuation of the dark brown hair. It,
Hmm.
it makes it frames the face. I like that. That
I like,
white
you
is
know,
probably not an autumn white, but hey,
I
it's
was
the
going to say though, I kind of liked that you chose, a white, top as well, because I think that sometimes true autumns do want to wear something that's kind of white adjacent. And I think at least having like these more like oatmeal stripes, really
yeah.
helps. Of course, like it should probably be a little warmer, but I think like overall, like it kind of works. And these beads, I think, help just bring enough kind of like darkness and
Mhm.
earthiness by the face that, it's a good, I don't really like using this word, but it's kind of like a good cheat, for the true autumn who, for whatever reason, either needs to wear white or like wants to wear something that's a little bit whiter. And I really like how the beads too aren't just one, flat color. Like they all have kind of dimension and like shading to them. And I agree about like the different, sizes and lengths. I think it just adds even more to that earthiness of the beads.
Mhm. It's the ornate and it's kind of abundant, and that's a nice
Hmm.
feature. Mm. All right, let's see what we have for dark autumn. No, we're not
Oh
done
yes,
with
let's
autumn.
do.
This is your image. Tell me, tell me.
Yeah, so I picked this one mostly because of the headband.
I know.
I love that it's braided. Like I just really love braids for, autumns. It has that just like rich, kind of sumptuous texture. It feels a little bit earthy. I just really liked the color. I love velvet for autumns as well. I think it's like a really beautiful fabric, the way that the light hits it. So I really liked, this headband, and I also liked the coat. I felt like the coat was a very good example of how to elevate a very traditional true autumn color into a piece that feels really interesting and modern. And even, her sweater, I was kind of looking at it too, and I was like, is it too cool? But I felt like it was a good example of, kind of like in your image, taking a white that might be technically a little too cool or a little too white, and kind of still making it work with pieces that are, a lot warmer. I just really thought this whole image was very like arresting.
True. And I think it's something to remind us that it's not religion. It's no, there's no that's going to come and arrest you. And I know when we've been chatting earlier, I think what you always pull in hair accessories for autumns, and I think that's really really a good point. There's something about hair accessories and autumns, isn't it? I'm not sure
I
why.
think so. Yeah, more than any other season, I tend to think about
Mm,
autumns and their hair accessories.
interesting, but true. And there's the braided velvet here is just to die for. I think it's, if you could find something like this and you were in autumn, I think I would wear it all the time. It's really, really nice. Okay, now we can move on to
Now we have dark autumn.
yeah, now. Okay, okay. This is one that I picked, and I picked it because of the textures in the socks and the tights. They're so nice. It's so autumny, and dark autumn can wear black, and I think
Mhm.
kind of black, the matte knitted kind of robust tights is a very good example of dark autumn tights. And knit, any kind
Mhm.
of knit, tweedy things or knit things is super for autumns. And also because those boots are suede, I think suede leather is just perfect for autumns.
I agree. Yeah, I love the knit. I even like, the kind of warmer gray, like dark autumn's gray is just very, I think it can be very effective when used in an outfit.
Mm.
Not everything kind of has to be brown, it can be, but I like how this kind of combines this like mustard stripe as well to kind of warm it up. I love the suede. I think suede is a great option. And even this heel, that kind of resembles wood a little bit, I think is perfect.
Oh yes, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Yeah. And that, I think that little mustard stripe is super. It's like a gentle pop of color. Okay, and I have one more image that I picked. It's kind of fuzzy, but it's so nice. This kind of green, I know it's about accessories, but this green is just captivating. And using scarves as an accessory is super. And for me, well, in addition to that, it's almost twigs, the belt. And
Hmm.
having a belt on top of a scarf is a really, really nice and kind of unusual way to wear a scarf. And also the asymmetry to me is a very autumn thing. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Like you with the bees and the and the soft autumn. I think asymmetry. Do you agree? Is that, or is it just me who's
I know what you mean. Like I think it's just kind of very, Maybe it just reminds us like of the natural world, that not everything is super symmetrical. But I really like that too. And I think I would like it less, if the scarf were hanging like the same amount on either side. I think it would feel a little less interesting. And I think that it also really plays up this pattern on the scarf too, the way it's kind of arranged. But I love that this coat. I think that kind of like olive pickle green is just perfect, for dark autumn. And I love it combined with this blue of the scarf too. That's just like, I think, a really beautiful color combination.
Very intriguing, and it's nice. And the bag,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a tapestry, or I don't know what material, but it's just,
That's what I was thinking too. It looks like a tapestry bag.
yeah.
I think the multiple patterns in this outfit too, I really like, for autumns. I think autumns do patterns very well. And I like that the bag and the scarf have a pattern, and so does this belt. I think it's just like it works really, really well. And I think autumn colors lend themselves so well to, having a lot going on because they just always feel very harmonious.
And it feels harmonious because the colors go together.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, it's not picked willy-nilly, they really harmonize.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Just check. Oh, I was wondering about the tapestry bag that you had picked, but was that another image? I don't
I
know.
think I picked it for soft autumn and then I removed it. So maybe I'll
Oh
use
yeah,
it for something else this summer.
well,
It was
anyway,
very, very pretty, but I went with the bee.
yeah.
But yeah, these I picked for dark autumn. I just really liked them. I thought they were really pretty. And I really liked this warm, like champagne stone on the bottom. I think that sometimes dark autumns, can get in this habit of thinking like literally everything they wear has to be, the darkest of dark. So I've, seen many dark autumns where, they feel like all their earrings have to be like burgundy or they have to be a dark teal or they have to only be dark brown. But I thought this was a really good kind of like lighter, fresher jewelry piece for dark autumn. I love the champagne. I even love how the top stone is just kind of like almost a little honeyed or like cognac or something like that. And many dark autumns, have dark hair too. And I think when you're picking earrings, it's important to think about, you know, is the earring going to show up in your hair or not? And sometimes it might not show up that much and we still are going to wear them and like them. But thinking about the contrast of the pieces you're wearing, I think can be really important too. If you have very light hair, you might want to wear a darker earring depending on your season, or if you have, really dark hair, like you might want the lightness of this type of champagne stone to make it kind of stand out.
I'm so happy you picked just this because it brings us out of this wood and the very matte natural materials that we had picked for the other images, and you don't have to have that. And this
Mm-hmm.
the glitter in this is a perfect example of bringing that bit of a winter influence into dark autumn. That
Mm-hmm.
smoky quartz on the bottom, and then the little bit of the faceted diamond-ish glitter. I think it was unusual and really, really lovely for dark autumn.
For some reason, maybe it's just because of a couple particular clients I've had who were very like glamorous, like dark autumns. But I always, if I just like imagine a dark autumn woman, I always imagine her in like a ballroom wearing something like this. Like, I don't know why, but maybe that's just a testament to how glamorous those
Mm,
clients of mine like were, but I think you're right. Like, it does kind of bring that like winter kind of crispness and
mm,
sparkle, into dark autumn. Like, it's not all wood and like natural stones, for them, it definitely starts getting a bit more like glitzy.
mm-hmm. Yes, I think that's important to keep in mind. And can you imagine, speaking of ballrooms, can you imagine this with like a wonderful off-shoulder velvet dress in that rusty
Mhm.
brown? Oh, so lovely.
That's what I tend to picture. Yeah, like some kind
Mhm.
of like, dramatic like cowl and like
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
a satin or a velvet, like something just really like luxurious.
Mm, so nice. Well, that brings us to the end of this autumn chat about autumn accessories, and we will be back with another chat about another season. And I do believe that will be spring, don't you think, Kate? I think
I
so.
think so.
All right. Okay. Until next time.